Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors build confidence and book smarter. Tonight's training is all about how to book groups, flights, and hotels. I'm going to walk through what to look for, where to find the best options, and how to organize everything smoothly for clients. I also have a really cool guide I want to give at the end, so you're going to absolutely love it. So if you are live, you go ahead and drop a quick hello. Hello, everyone. So I can welcome you. And of course, you're catching this on a replay. Make sure you comment #replay so that I know that you stopped by. And as usual, before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you click the like button for this video, the subscribe button, and the bell so you can never miss when I'm going live. And tonight, we have how to book group flights and hotels like a pro. From takeoff to check-in, you guys are going to learn after tonight how to master group travel coordination, right? So Tuesday we had resorts, Wednesday we had cruises, and tonight we're doing flights and hotels. So can we all confidently say after now that we know how to book groups? Yes, right? That's what's kind of my goal. Like, I feel like people see groups a lot and they get scared, and it's not scary. It's a great way to make money, and it can be very successful if you get into a habit of doing it on a regular basis, right? So what are we going to cover tonight? We're going to talk about why group travel matters. We're going to talk about different group policy fees because it's actually very particular when it comes to Archer. So we're going to go over that. We're also going to talk about tour operators and consolidators, hotel group basics. We're going to talk about supplier options, the direct contact rules, contract quotes, deadlines, travel tips and tools, marketings, and of course, key takeaways like that ultimate guide that I'm going to give you at the end of this. So let's continue. First, why does group travel matter? Well, of course, higher revenue, right? Flights plus rooms often equal higher total sales and client trust because you're handling their entire trip. It is perfect for land events like weddings, reunions, corporate retreats. It's a great way to grow your business and build supplier relationships and repeat business. If you successfully handle one group, you will have a great opportunity of handling that same group the next year, right? As well. It's going to make you confident, guys. You're going to be way more professional in your positioning because you're going to feel like, hey, I'm able to master this, right? This is going to position you as a travel coordinator. You're no longer just an agent. Now you can actually coordinate an entire group with this. So it is important that we always learn about group travel, regardless of our niche. It always fits in our niche some weird way, right? Next. Archer group air policy. This is important because a lot of you guys get group flights. This is a big deal for Archer, so I want to go over it. For group air policy, typically you cannot go to the airline itself. You don't go directly to like Delta and say, all right, give me some group flights. It doesn't work like that, okay? So you have to have a minimum of 12 passengers required for the group air form. All group air bookings must go through Archer Travel. It's very important for that to go through there because they're going to find all of the good stuff. You don't want to do that with the airline, right? You don't know what to look for. You don't know what you need to check, etc. Don't set yourself up for that. You definitely want to just go through Archer and let them handle it. And technically, we are required to. So let me pull up. I'm going to pull up the Travel Cafe real quick so I can show you where to go for this. So in the Travel Cafe, before I continue, everything that I'm talking about is going to be right here under the group booking section. And then they have the air request form right here. And you put in the agent's name, number, ID, email again, the group type, desired budget per person, destination city, departure date, return date, all the stuff, everything. Okay. And then all of those important details right here. I would actually base my qualification form off of this alone. Okay. Because this is exactly what you need. So get all of that in there. And if they need any like extra seating or room or anything, make sure you get all that in there. Okay. And then the terms and conditions to obtain a group request. You have to sign up. So those are the terms and conditions if you need to read them. Okay. But always go to the group booking section in the back office before you continue doing anything because they have everything that you need in here. They have the checklist, they have quote forms, they have cheat sheets. Here's the rule: do not book group air directly with airlines. There's no commission. We're going to get into service fees tonight, so we'll handle that. But they also tell you their fees. So let's go back over here so I can talk about that. All right, now, so you submit that group air request form that I just showed you in the Travel Cafe. Archer handles quotes, communications, and ticketing. That's why we let them do it. Thank you, Archer Travel. Service fees, Archer charged. They do $20 per domestic ticket, $40 for international ticket. It is not commissionable bill to the agency. So this is a part of their deal for doing the group request, okay? Now, on top of that, I will let you know that you need to add your own fee, right? So don't create airline group contracts yourself because it needs to be managed by Archer. You can book air through approved tour operators. That's our other option. I'm going to talk about those too. So if you don't want to book directly through Archer, we have other options, okay? We also have certain consolidators. We're going to talk about that in the next slide. But if it's a really big group, guys, don't get messed in that, okay? You can just do the group air quote request. This is what Archer charges. This is all how it works. You add your service fee to it, send it to them. If they want it, they want it. If they don't, it's okay. That doesn't mean that they're not going to book with you. They might still book the hotel or whatever, right? But if they need it that bad, they don't want to do it themselves either. And that's why they're charging, because Archer's going to handle all of it. So there you go. Okay, if you want us to do it, you're going to pay for it. If you don't want us to do it, then go do it on your own. Okay, exactly. Okay, that sells it right there. We'll just let Archer do it, right? So Archer handles the ticketing to protect agency credentials. That's why they want to do it. And they ensure compliance with IATA and airline policies. So that's why we let them do it, okay? Continue. So, tour operators. These suppliers already hold airline contracts. No need to contact airlines directly. Approved vendors included. These are some of my favorites. And there's one in there that nobody knows about, but here we go. I'm about to share it with you, okay? So, downtown travel, international group airfare blocks. Centrav is a great one for international too. Consolidator flights and net flares. They do have commissionable flights in there too. On top of that, resort partners like Vacation Express, Pleasant Holidays, Classic Vacations, and Apple Leisure Group, that's Vax, and Delta Vacations, they do charter or bulk fare, and they pair it with the resort packages. So if you're doing like a group hotel package or resort package, they'll pair it with the flights too. So there's other ways to do this outside of Archer, but I would just first, honestly, myself, I would check with one of these, like I'm going to start using Skybird Travel because that's pretty cool and it's easy to register for. They only ask for the IATA. Perfect. So Skybird Travel is probably one that I will start using for group internationals because that's pretty popular for me. But I always used Downtown Travel too. They do good, and Centrav as well. But I will check in one of these first, and if it's just too complicated for me, I'm just going to let Archer handle it. Like, we don't make that much money off of it. It's not life changing, right? But the resorts and everything else, then no, we want to handle that, right? So that is my best suggestion for that one. Now, fees and commissions. Every time I do a training like this, you guys always ask me, what do I charge? All right, so let's talk about it. This is not what you have to charge. You don't have to do anything that I tell you to do in here. You do everything based off of your own due diligence and some of this knowledge I'm sharing with you, right? But regardless, I always want you to do what you feel is right for your business, not exactly what I'm telling you, okay? I'm just giving you suggestions. I'm just saying all of that so you can't hold me responsible for what I charge, okay? This is what I charge, all right? No commission on group air for individual airline tickets unless the service fee is added, right? We know that. So Archer Travel charges $20 for domestic, $40 for international. So I always factor that in if I do it through them. So how do I charge my own fee? All right, I normally typically do anywhere from $25 to $50 per person. I consider it a group coordination fee, is what it's called on my form. And it can be even a flat fee if it's a big group. I don't charge that much because I'm not really doing that much work other than submitting it and just sending it to them. I only charge roughly about $100, $200 per group, if depending on how many people it is, okay? I include it inside the quote and I list it on the invoice, and I put the invoice completely together with everything that they're sending to. And then I explain that it covers the quote request, the manifest, the schedule, monitoring, and the communication. And I will either collect it. I normally do Square, but when I have a certain amount of groups that I keep getting repeatedly, I always go in and just set up my Travel Joy. Like sometimes I deactivate it, sometimes I activate it, just depending on when I use it. So for Travel Joy, I will go in there and collect the fees in there too. But what I like to do is, the pro tip here, what I'm trying to tell you is include your fee in the total package price. I always do it that way. And it's a group coordination fee, no questions asked. It's cleaner, it's easier to explain, and it adds a perceived value as I am doing this work for you. So this is why you're getting charged. You don't have to explain it other than that. That's exactly what to do. Okay. Now, anything with contracts, anything like that, here, Ash Knows Travel, we don't cover that. Okay. I want you to do your own due diligence, talk to your legal, whoever, whatever. But this is how you charge a fee. Okay, leave it there. Continue. Hotel group basics. Now, these are easy. I love booking hotel groups. Hold on. Hotel group is usually 10 plus rooms at the same property. The best practice is, of course, to book through approved suppliers and not directly with the resorts or the hotels unless you have to. If you feel like it's just easier for you, that's fine. But that's when the contracts and all of that get mixed and, okay, it's going to get a little saucy. So we're going to get into it. Right? Suppliers handle contracts, deposit, and payment arrangements. That's why we like to go through them. It's up to you. But if you must do a physical contract, okay, all those hotel contracts, they must be reviewed by Archer before signing. If we're not signing them, we're letting the group sign them. We don't sign contracts. They sign the contracts, right? And there's the email. You guys can feel free to screenshot that, or it's in your travel cafe, either way. But the email, groupcontracts@archertravel.com. They must handle all of those group contracts. Because listen, guys, we are booking through Archer Travel's IATA number. So we need to make sure that we always go the correct policy to Archer Travel. So no matter whatever you see, even on my own trainings, always confirm with Archer Travel because things change every single day, right? So this is what we're supposed to do. Follow the rules, right? Pro tip. So supplier group bookings are safer, commissionable, and easier to manage. Always check with suppliers before reaching out directly. Yes, thank you. Now, suppliers that handle hotel groups. Here is a good idea for you guys. Feel free to go in and screenshot that. You can see here we have Vacation Express, Pleasant Holidays, Classic Vacations, Vax, does a lot of them. Delta Vacation does grid ones. These are very great to use no matter what, like a resort, hotel, whatever, they're normally found in here, right? I will tell you too, Vacation Express and Apple Leisure Group, they both offer flexible groups. So I'm going to show you that real quick inside Vax. And on those flexible groups, and sometimes even Sandals, they don't have as a high group minimum either, but I know those are resorts, but I just bring that out there. Like you have to check with the resorts sometimes directly too. Like, and I know I'm saying resorts, but even hotels. So like, let's just say you choose, I don't know, Hilton, okay? They probably have a group department too. So check with them first before you go and do all this extra work of getting the exact hotel involved and right? You might get better perks doing it online. So try online first, is what I'm getting to. But sometimes they don't have a big group minimum like they do directly at the hotel. Like it's a 10 minimum requirement at a hotel. So if they go check with like Sandals or you check with, one of these like Vax, like we're about to do, then you only have to have 5 rooms and there's no like contract put in. It's just like a promo code. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So that might be easier. Okay. These are the different groups we can do. So let me see if I have that on a page. Okay. Nope. Let me show you, okay? Let me go to Vax real quick. Share this tab instead. Oh, I'm already here. Y'all know I'm already prepared. I always come prepared, right? Okay. Groups right here, right-hand corner. We're going to go down right here. So book a contracted or group ease with Apple Vacations. It's easy. You can submit it, whatever you choose. Go find the hotel that you want first, get the pricing, and then come back and submit a request form. It's very easy. We're going to do contracted. That's when they have the actual like contract. Okay. That's 10 minimum, all of that. We want flexible group like this. And let's say FunJet. Okay. And then you submit it and then they give you a code. Say solutions, they'll send you an email with the code. Then what do you do? So you can do the bookings all together. You could do them separately. It doesn't matter. You guys know we can only do like up to 4 rooms at a time inside Vax. So that might not work. You might have 5, 6, 7, 8 rooms, right? So how do you do that? You have to do multiple bookings. And regardless of how you do the multiple bookings, you just put that code at the checkout every single time. Even if you already did the booking, you can still request the code after. Like maybe you don't know you need a group, but now all of a sudden you do. Go request the code. As long as it's not paid out and that's not been taken, you are good to go. Just drop it in there after you do the booking. What does it do for you? Let me show you. I don't know. I like it better. I try to do this always before I get anywhere. But if you're doing go back. If you're doing like 30, 40 rooms, don't do this because you have to go in there and do it manually. That's going to hurt your eyes. Okay, group E's. Okay. Oh, goodness. Here we are. All right. So this is what it does. So booking total. Okay, the booking total. So this is going to be per room, whatever, booking total, right? Minimum 5 rooms required for the discount, but $25, $50, whatever. So whatever that booking total is for each room, boom, it's added right there. And then what is this? Oh, they get a discount too. They get a discount. Cool. It's exactly what it's just a promo code. I like that one better. But some people, they like to contact directly. You can do that too. If you contact directly, you have to do it basically where you have to get a contract, all of that. Now, Vax also does contracted groups. It's right here. But it's also complicated. You got to go in there, request a quote. You got to get it done. You still have to get it sent through Archer, all of that. Same thing, okay? But it's just that this is actual contracted, and they have like bonuses and stuff. So just think about how you want to do this, okay? All right. Going back to the training. So that is how it works inside Vax. Vacation Express also does the same thing, so you can kind of do it there too. But if you only have like 5 to 10 rooms, but you want it to be a group, you can do it that way, okay? But if you have 10, 20, 30 to work, don't do it that way because it's going to hurt your eyes. So at that point, I would say let's do a contracted group, all right? When to contact the hotels directly. Only contact the hotels directly when the property isn't available through a supplier. Try the suppliers first. Try to get a group contract either through like Vax or one of them. Okay, try that first. If it's a custom wedding or corporate event and it's requiring on-site coordination, they have to do a hotel block at that point, and then they have to do a event block and like all of that. Okay, then you need to call. If the group needs private venues or inclusions, yeah, basically, if it's like one of those, like we're going to do this, you need to call and get a room block set up. All right. So if you do call them, you have to always send the contract to Archer Travel for review. You need to confirm the commission terms and the room block details. And of course, always keep all the communication in writing. I suggest going here. Look, I'm going to show you something that I like. You see this part right here for this group? This is on Travel Cafe. Oh, that's not the one. There's this, qualifying client checklist. This is nice. Look at this. They have all of these questions in here. This is what I suggest asking before you go in and do all of this with the group, okay? Like get all of this in order first. I like this. This is very nice. And then what I like to do is when you guys call the hotel directly, what I want you to do is you need to interview this hotel. I'm so serious. Interview them, find out everything that you can. And then I want you to position it as what can you offer me? Because I could just call the hotel next to you and get another offer. So what can you do for my group? And a lot of the groups like breakfast, or they like having their own meeting room, or like they just have like certain things. So those hotels, they can offer that, but they're lazy. They're not going to. You have to ask them, okay? Then I also want you to make sure that you ask about commission. What is my commission for this? How is my commission paid to me? I want that in writing. Okay. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay. Because Archer is going to go in there and verify everything, but we don't want to like take any extra time. So like, this is exactly what I need. This is what I'm looking for. How do I get paid? What is the payment? Da, da, da. Like I want it all. Right. And then put that in the contract and then send that to Archer, let them review it. And then they send it back. And then you get the group leader to sign the contract. Okay. That's it. We like this. This is nice. So there it is. Even when clients request a specific resort, check suppliers first. They often have the same property with better terms. Yes, I agree with that. Like Hyatt, they have a really good group thing. Like Sandals, all of them, they all have really good group settings. So check with the suppliers because we can book direct with a lot of our suppliers, right? So check direct first. All right. So this is typically how it works for the contract quotes and deadlines. Air deposits, a lot of the times it'll be anywhere from $50 to $150 per person. I know Vax, they charge quite a bit actually. It's $250 per person when you do a hotel and a flight, so it just depends. But hotel deposits is normally one night deposit or roughly 10 to 20% of the hotel. Final payments are always due 30 to 45 days before travel. That's how it works on 90% of this. right? Names lists due. You need them all filled out within 30 to 60 days out. And then the cancellation penalties, please read the cancellation penalties because a lot of them will put it in there. And that's why we have Archer verified. Again, thank you, Archer. They'll put some weird cancellation penalties where they start docking people money. So you really, really need to read it because a lot of the time they begin after deposits. Fun fact. Pro tip, always note your release date. You need to know a release date if you have any extra rooms because they will penalize you if you do not book those rooms after a certain date. So you need to know the release date, and any unsold space may auto cancel if deposits aren't being paid by the deadline. You need to let that group leader know because they need to fill the rooms ASAP. All right? So, travel tips and tools. Request seat assignments early. Yes, please. Especially when you put in your notes and your comments, please let Archer Travel know you want certain seat requirements, okay? Track flight changes and deadlines in your group tracker. Group tracker. We created one of those yesterday. You can do the same thing with the flights and hotels. Offer travel insurance to every traveler. I don't do like a group setting for the travel insurance. I do it individually because I want them to be responsible for their own thing. And two, you have to keep in mind, travel insurance covers not just before, it also covers during. So if something happens to them, I'm not trying to file a group quote like insurance claim, right? So I do it individually and I always use 10 leg. 10 leg is the bestie. Like as soon as I start booking a group, I send them my 10 leg insurance link and I say, here you go get your 10 leg insurance. You need it. And I'll tell them you need it just for, especially during the trip in case something happens when you're international. As soon as I drop that line, they all go get travel insurance. Because like I'm telling you guys, there was a lady that started vomiting on the ship and now she owes $13,000. Like I can't press this. Okay, we're not doing that. So anyways, keep the manifest updated weekly and use Google Sheets or Trello is a really good app too that for the shared updates. So I like Google Sheets and I like to share the Google Sheets with the group leader. I always go in there and do that, of course. And then, this is a good one. I do this one too. Finalization week. When it's like the week before, I always get a little checklist going for the group leader and it confirms name, payments, insurance transfers before the supplier's final deadline. Like it confirms everything so they have it upon arrival. I always send it to them. Yep. Google Doc is really great for that because you can share it with everybody. Okay. Now, a little bit of marketing and key takeaways here. Marketing tips. If you're going to do themed groups like this, you might see this and you're like, you know what? I want to do this as like a group setting for whatever trip. Okay. If you want to do that, give them time to book. The more time you have to book, the better you have with closing the group. Okay. Offer early bird specials or refer incentives. Like, hey, if you do this, get a voucher kind of deal. All right. Just don't have to. Use Canva flyers and countdown posts. Encourage guests to bring friends and family. And then, of course, if you've ever done a group before, always make sure you use the content that you have to showcase photos from past groups. All right. Now, key takeaways here. All right. All group travel for air goes through Archer unless you use a tour operator like Vax, or if you use a consolidator like Centrav. Okay. All other than that, they typically have to go through Archer Travel. You cannot book directly, right? Make sure you use approved suppliers for bulk or charter air. Charge coordination fees. Please charge coordination fees to protect your time. Yes, honey, I love that. Always send hotel contracts for review. Always. Listen, they see group contracts every single day at Archer Travel. They're so big now they had to build a whole new big office just to hold all these people in here, okay? Let them do their job. That's what you're paying for, okay? Don't overstep that. Of course, lastly, stay organized because one successful group can lead to 5+ more. If you can get into the setting of a group booking and you can build it out, you only have to do like 4 or 5 a year. Probably you could probably be set up for a good while, right? Where am I leading at? Get comfortable with group travel. And I hope after these last 3 days, you feel a little bit better about group travel. Let me know in the comments now. Feel free to drop them. All right. But I'm not done. I'm not going to leave you empty handed because I just gave you so much info. And I know you're probably like, what? My brain can't handle this. I know that. They're like, same. That's why I have it here. But we need to get a guide going. So let me show you the guide. And if you want the guide, as I'm showing it to you, we have this engagement deal with each other, right? We love the engagement deal. And the engagement deal is if you comment guide below, I'm going to go underneath and comment the guide so you can have it. Yes. So comment guide for me, blow up the chat, and I'm going to show you the cool guide. Here it is. The ultimate group flights, and hotel guide. So everything that I went over today, I put it in a checklist for you because listen, that was a lot. I tell you how to do group air basics. I tell you the approved air consolidators and suppliers, including our new one over here, Mr. Skybird. Where'd you come from, sir? Hotel group basics. I talk about 10 room minimums. I talk about how to send them. I tell them approved suppliers that I suggest. I have deadlines of finalization so you understand how it works before you get started. And then build that ultimate group tracker sheet. I have the one that I have from the cruises. You guys can get that and just change it into it. But for the ultimate group tracker, all you really need is just this: rooms, flights, payment schedule, and deadlines right there, right? Then you also need a payment log template, a rooming list spreadsheet, and a travel insurance tracker for everybody that has travel insurance. And then lastly, one finalization checklist. Ask ChatGPT to do all of this for you. Please don't make it harder on yourself. All right. Always offer travel protection. Yeah. Marketing your groups. I have all this for you. So go ahead and comment below, and I'll go ahead and start dropping it in the chat for you. And of course, I want you to ask any questions. If you have any questions, let me know. And anything, just comment. And if you want the guide as well. All right. So let's talk about. All right, so let's go into details about what's happening next week, shall we? Next week, we have some really cool things going on. We finalized group week. Hope we had fun. But next week is all about us here because, first of all, we're going to talk about where to get certified because nobody knows where to get certified, right? Just joking. I feel like that's the thing. Nobody knows where to get certified. Like they tell us, like, all right, go get this certification, get this. Okay, great, but where? So I'm going to do a whole training on where to get certified. Okay. Then on Wednesday, we're going to have an amazing interview with my lovely Deidre Norton. I love me some Deidre Norton. Listen, she has been with me since the beginning. And in those 3 years that she's been with me, listen, she has done amazing things. Platinum, 3-time IATIN holder. If you look on the back office right now, she is on the list, top income earner and leader. And if you look all the way at the bottom, I'm sure her name's down there too, right? So we need to find out what she's doing because she's obviously doing well here. So let's talk to Miss Deidre. Then on Thursday, we're going to do common new advisor mistakes because I feel like a lot of us, even if you're not new, maybe there's something that you're doing in there too. But I need to go over what we did in the beginning. We need to talk about it. We need to make sure that nobody else does it, right? So we're going to talk about common new advisor mistakes. And of course, don't forget the following weeks where we're going to talk about, it's going to be Halloween week. We're going to talk about Holiday Hustle Edition. We're going to talk about different deals that we can do for the holidays, how to market them, and how to turn them into future bookers. So if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on that bell so you get notifications. I'm going to hop over to the studio to hand you all that beautiful link now. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them there. I'm going to see you guys. And I'll see you guys next week as well, of course, for Advisor Week. Same place, same time as usual, 5 p.m.